According to Global Firepower, Forbes, as well as TRT World, the Muslim world has incredible army strength. So what are some of the most powerful armies of Muslim countries? Well, let's find out. Welcome to another FTD Facts episode. My name is Leroy Kenton, and we haven't done many military related videos in a while. And I know a lot of you guys are asking for more military videos, so I decided to add this episode into our 10 Facts series. So here are the 10 most powerful Muslim armies. At number 10, we got the country of Morocco. So Morocco has the 5th largest armed forces in the entire region. It sits at 175,000 personnel, but it really faced a lot of challenges by one of the lowest defense budgets in the entire Middle East. The country does have military that's heavily engaged with the disputed Western Sahara territory, as well as it's patrolling its borders. Their motto is God, Homeland, King. They have 1,109 combat tanks, 2,720 armored fighting vehicles, 530 self-propelled artillery, 198 towed artillery, and their rocket projectors sit at a total of 72. Moving on to number 9, we have Syria. The Syrian army makes up approximately 80% of the combined services. It officially came into being in 1945 before Syria obtained full independence the following year. The Syrian army, as well as the rest of its armed forces, has been heavily involved in suppressing political movements within Syria. Their motto is Guardians of the Homeland. When it comes to the total combat tanks, they have 5,035. Their armored fighting vehicles count sits at 5,170. They got 500 self-propelled artillery. Their towed artillery sit at 2,210, and they have 700 rocket projectors in their possession. Malaysia is at number 8. The King of Malaysia is the supreme commander of the Malaysian Armed Forces. Now, the Malaysian Army currently has 17 corps and regiments. These are grouped into 3 main components. There's a combat element, the combat support element, and the support elements. The corps and regiments are currently organized into 5 divisions. The first military units in Malaysia can be traced back to March of 1861. Now, the modern Malaysian Army came about in January of 1933. Their motto is strong and loyal. Now, they have 74 combat tanks in their possession. They have a total of 1,460 armored fighting vehicles, 29 self-propelled artillery, 211 towed artillery, and 54 rocket projectors. Moving on now to number 7, we got the country of Algeria. Their army includes 2 armored and 3 mechanized divisions. And the Land Forces Command is charged with organizing and preparing the land forces so as to ensure the defense of the national land space in cooperation with other forces. Their land forces is comprised of a central command, military and operational sectors, big units and autonomous units, as well as training institutions. The motto of the Algerian nation is by the people and for the people. They have 2,475 combat tanks, 6,900 armored fighting vehicles in total. Their self-propelled artillery are totaled at 400, and they have 583 towed artillery. They also have 367 rocket projectors. Now, number 6, Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian army is the largest branch of the Saudi armed forces. Now, I didn't find a motto specifically for the Saudi Arabian army, but the motto for the country is there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of God. And they have been active since 1744 as an independent service arm, but they have been an official branch of the armed forces since 1902. Now, back in the year 2000, Saudi Arabia's government spent billions of dollars to expand the Saudis' forces, including the Saudi army. Unfortunately, a lot of the modern equipment is still not fully used to its full potential. In any case, they have 1,062 combat tanks. They have 11,100 armored fighting vehicles, a whole lot of them. Self-propelled artillery total at 705. Towed artillery sits at 1,818, and they have 122 rocket projectors. Halfway in at number 5, we have Indonesia. So the Indonesian army is composed of a headquarters, 15 military region commands, a strategic reserve command, a special forces command, as well as various other units. Now, there are today 5 types of infantry battalions in the Indonesian army, which are the Power Raider Infantry Battalion, Mechanized Raider Infantry Battalion, then they have their Raider Infantry Battalion, and then the Mechanized Infantry Battalion, and then finally the Infantry Battalion. A whole lot of infantry and battalions. Now their motto is unmatchable bird with noble goals. They have 315 combat tanks in their possession, and they also have 1,300 armored fighting vehicles, 141 self-propelled artillery, 356 towed artillery, and 36 rocket projectors. Number 4 is the country of Pakistan. The Pakistan Army is a voluntary force, and the primary objective and its constitutional mission is to ensure the national security as well as the national unity of Pakistan. It conducts humanitarian rescue operations at home as well as participates in peacekeeping missions mandated by the United Nations. The two main branches of the army are the combat arms and administrative services. Also consists of several branches that include the army officers, the junior commissioned or warrant officers, and other enlisted personnel. Their motto is a follower of none but Allah, the fear of Allah, strive for Allah. Pakistan's army has 2,200 combat tanks, 3,665 armored fighting vehicles, 429 self-propelled artillery, 1,226 towed artillery, and a total of 150 rocket projectors. Now the nation coming in at number 3 is Iran. The Iranian army, or the Artesh, has its own joint staff which coordinates its 4 separate service branches, which are the ground forces, the air force, the Navy, and the newly established Air Defense Force. And the Iranian army fought 2 major invasions in the modern era. In the first time in 1941, it was the invasion by the Soviet and the British forces during World War II, and the second time was in 1980, and that was the Iraqi invasion, which lasted almost 8 years. Their motto is, "And our soldiers, they verily would be the victors." They have 1,632 combat tanks, 2,345 armored fighting vehicles, 570 self-propelled artillery, 2,128 towed artillery, and 1,900 rocket projectors. Now the nation coming in at number 2, Egypt. The Egyptian army is the largest service branch within the Egyptian Armed Forces. The Egyptian Armed Forces Chief of Staff's office is in Cairo, and he is the Chief of Staff of the Army. It has 3 command and control headquarters as well as 9 command and control field headquarters, and they're directed from the Chief of Staff's office. Its most significant engagements happened in the 20th century, and these were the 5 wars that Egypt had with Israel, and they were in 1948, 1956, 1967, 1967 to 1970, as well as in 1973. Their motto is, "We painted the face of our nation on our hearts." They have in their possession 2,160 combat tanks, 5,735 armored fighting vehicles, 1,000 self-propelled artillery, 2,189 towed artillery, and 1,100 rocket projectors. And finally, the number 1 most powerful Muslim country when it comes to their army is Turkey. When it comes to Turkey's army, sources trace the army's foundation to Modu Chanyu of the Xiongnu Empire in 209 BC. But the modern history of the army began with its formation after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. As of late 2015, there's reports that suggested that Turkish army, along with the rest of their armed forces, have seen their personnel strength increase to similar levels of the 2000s. Now the factors contributing to this are further stabilization of Syria and Iraq. Now their motto is peace at home, peace in the world. They have 3,200 combat tanks, 9,500 armored fighting vehicles, 1,120 self-propelled artillery. Their total artillery counts sit at 1,272, and they have 350 rocket projectors. Alright guys, so that was a look at 10 of the most powerful Muslim armies. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And also, I'm curious to know, since quite a few of you have been asking for more military episodes, would you like to see more military episodes? Sound off down below and let me know. Okay guys? Okay, so all of you who made it to the end screen, here's another related video. Tap the annotation. You know what to do. It'll take you straight to that. Also, you can find my social media links below where you can follow me, stalk me, shoot me a message on Instagram, all that good stuff. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join the FTD Facts family so you don't miss any of our daily episodes. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me in this episode. I can't wait to see you guys next time.